During the interview, I told her she was hired. I fought every instinct to let my emotions show, maintaining a mask of cold professionalism. I walked her through her schedule, her duties, and the office layout. Throughout the entire orientation, we were side by side. I explained the business, but my mind was tracing the familiar lines of her face. When we finished, I said, "Everything is set. Congratulations. I'll see you tomorrow." We shook hands. The moment our skin touched, a literal spark of electricity shot through me. We both flinched slightly, but we quickly looked away, neither of us knowing if the other felt the same magnetic pull. On the drive home, I was a mess of overwhelming excitement and anxiety. I kept rehearsing what I would say to her the next day. I couldn't sleep. I just tossed and turned, staring at the ceiling, Isabella's name echoing in my thoughts. The next morning, the office felt different. My employees greeted me, but my eyes were searching for only one person. When I stepped into my private office, she was already there. She looked breathtaking. She was smiling, and for a moment, I just stood there, staring like a fool. She was talking to me, but I didn't hear a word until she held out some papers, a playful glint in her eyes. "Boss, are you okay? Would you like some coffee?" "Yes, please," I stammered. "I'm sorry, I just have a lot on my mind." "No problem at all," she replied softly. As the days passed, Isabella proved to be incredible at her job. She was always on time, perfectly organized, even her desk was spotless. From my glass-walled office, I found myself watching her constantly. I started buying lunch for the whole staff more often, just so I had an excuse to see her smile when she ate, but we kept it strictly professional. No personal talk, just schedules, plans, and deadlines. Until one morning in the elevator. "Good morning, Miss Jenny," she said. The small space was suddenly filled with her scent. My heart hammered so loudly against my ribs I was terrified she could hear it. I stole a glance at her from the corner of my eye, admiring her profile. As the doors opened, I finally found my courage. "Isabella, I'd like to catch up with you. Over coffee. After work." She agreed. The rest of the day was filled with stolen glances and shy smiles. At one point, when she handed me a cup of coffee, our fingers brushed. We both pulled back as if burned, faces flushing red. When it was finally time to leave, I told her we should head out together. We walked to a nearby coffee shop, the air between us thick with everything we hadn't said yet. At the coffee shop, the air was thick with unspoken words. Jenny, usually the commanding CEO, felt like a nervous teenager again. She pulled out a chair for Isabella, a small gesture that made Isabella blush. "Thank you, boss," Isabella whispered, her smile shy and radiant. They ordered their drinks, but as they waited, the silence became heavy. Jenny took a deep breath, her face flushing. "Isabella, I just need to know. I've wanted to know for so long. Why did you just disappear?" Isabella's expression softened, shadowed by a flicker of old pain. "Life got complicated, ma'am," she said, still maintaining a professional distance that stung Jenny slightly. "There's a lot I never told you back then." Isabella began to weave a story of a fractured home. She spoke of a father consumed by alcohol and rage, and a mother who lived in fear. "I was the one who finally called the authorities," Isabella admitted, her voice trembling. But even with the police involved, he wouldn't stop. That's when my mom met Steve online. He became her lifeline. She explained how the threat of her father's violence forced them into hiding. They had to cut all ties. Social media, phone numbers, even relatives, just to stay safe. I had to focus on surviving and finishing my studies abroad. I had to fix my life before I could come back. I'm sorry I left you in the dark. Overwhelmed by the weight of Isabella's struggle, Jenny reached across the table and gently took Isabella's hand. I'm so sorry you had to go through that alone, she said softly. Isabella smiled, a brave, beautiful tilt of her lips. It's okay. Those things make us who we are. Jenny's heart raced. Should I tell her? She wondered. Should I tell her how much it hurt when she left? Or how much I still feel for her? But the words stayed locked in her throat. Later that night, Jenny drove Isabella home to a small, charming apartment. You live here? Jenny asked, looking at the cozy space. Yes, I'm renting. My mom stayed abroad with Steve. I had things I wanted to fix here. And honestly, I just missed home. Did you know? Jenny asked suddenly, her grip tightening on the steering wheel. Did you know you were applying to my company? Isabella laughed, a sound like silver bells, though her cheeks turned pink. No, I had no idea. When I walked into that room and saw you sitting there, I was more shocked than you were. They said their goodnights, the boss and employee labels feeling heavier than ever. As Jenny lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, her mind was a whirlwind of Isabella. She wanted to confess. She wanted the late-night chats back. But how does a CEO tell her secretary that she's been in love with her since a flat tire at a roadside store? Jenny closed her eyes, a single question haunting her. How do I make her mine? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to the channel. Your support truly means the world to me and helps me keep creating more videos just like this one. Stay tuned, because part 3 is coming very soon. See you in the next one.